I'm Alan Walker, this is ChatTalent. I'm here at RecFest 2018 and I've got with me Bill Boorman.
Hi
Bill,
Alan, good to see you again.
how are you doing?
I'm very good, man, very good.
So the few people in this world, well certainly this world of talent acquisition, who might not know who you are,
Yeah.
give them a quick introduction as to
So
who you
I'm
are,
Bill
what you do.
Boorman. What I do, I'm still trying to figure that out, but I do stuff I get paid for. So it's a combination. I work with startups, so people like Clinch, Meet and Engage and so on their products and what they're doing. And I work with VCs on investments and what technology they should be looking at. I work with companies like Naspers and Oracle and Cisco on very specific projects, like what technology they should buy, how they should use it, and what the deployment should be. And I write a lot of research papers and speak at conferences. So it's all, and Run True, which is the recruiting unconference. We have about 100 events a year. So it's all those things kind of fit together.
Okay, nice. So why are you here at RecFest?
So, I mean, there's a whole load of things. I mean, one is that people still want to turn up and hear me speak, which is very flattering. You know, I quite
Not run out of fans, then?
It's not run out of stuff. So it's good. It's a really good way to connect with a lot of people who kind of I'm connected with or know me online, but I think because people bring their whole teams, 20, 30 people in some cases, there's a lot of people, real recruiters, jobbing recruiters day to day, who probably not technology buyers. I don't see them at the kind of strategic or tech events. So I think it's good to find events where you can just connect with people, or people who've seen your stuff or know who you are. Might have been my videos on social talent, whatever it is, but just people you can just meet and just kind of figure it out. Because you know, I'm massively in awe of them. They do the job real life, and so there's more for me to get from having a conversation with them and go, yeah, kind of like, what's their big issue, than there is for me to give them, I think, a lot of the time.
Absolutely. As my dad would say, they're still on the tools. You know, they're actually doing the day-to-day job. I mean, you aren't anymore, are we? We've stepped away from being day-to-day recruiters quite a long time ago.
You have to understand it. That's why I'm always involved in client stuff. But it's strategic, it's not tactical.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes the good stuff is happening at a tactical level. You're emceeing a stage as well, is that right?
Yeah, I'm emceeing stage 2, and I spoke this morning. So I'm doing Q&As and all that kind of thing.
What did you speak about?
So I spoke, my talk for today is a new type of good. And the reason for wanting to talk about that is I think we're at another one of these changes where we're looking at automation, we're looking at technology. There is no AI in recruiting, although people talk about that a lot.
You took one of my questions. I was going to say, Bill, is there any AI in recruiting?
Yeah, so we can talk about that in a minute, but there is no AI in recruiting, but there is very good machine learning and data dive. And it's really important that we get this piece right, otherwise the future's going to be bleak. Okay. So we're kind of at this cusp of opportunity. So I like the opportunity to talk to people almost like an appeal, kind of like a mission to say, right, you know, we invent the future. We decide what happens here by what we do, whether we use our data properly, whether we use diverse data sets, think about things properly, allow our machines enough time to learn. I think the way a lot of people are working when we're talking about machine learning, they don't quite understand is we kind of expect to take a product out of a box and it will work. Yeah. And that's not what machine learning does. That's kind of like sending a kid to school on their first day, you know, wiping your tear while they go off to school for the first time and saying, okay, take a degree. I'll see you in 18 years. Yeah, you're not going to have like that 18 years of learning. You're going to go and say, right, take your degree now, right? So we need to allow our technology to learn. I think the other thing is, which is probably the biggest failing and biggest risk that I see, if we take something like matching technology, it's a very obvious example. The way in which people are buying or assessing matching technology and whether it works is to take, say, 100 jobs or requisitions, 1,000 CVs or resumes, take your top 20% hit team of recruiters, get them to do a shortlist on that, put it through the machine, and measuring if the machine's any good by the fact that the two shortlists are the same. Right, okay, Right? And this has been a big driving factor of how people assess things. And what that does is it means we're replacing people with machines, automations. Now, from a corporate point of view, you might say, well, okay, if I have 100 recruiters and I think we can automate 80% of the work, we can get rid of 80 of those recruiters, we reduce that cost. Within a year, we're making a cost saving, efficiencies, that kind of thing. But we're not doing anything better. The other thing we're doing is we're automating as much as we're automating the good things, we're automating the bad things. So we're automating
biases,
and we're putting them on acid, right? So we're just like doing more of it faster, quicker over a wider period of time. So what I'm looking for is matching technology, shortlisting stuff, assessment stuff, which gives me people I wouldn't have picked as a human.
Exactly. The diamonds in the rough, or people from diverse backgrounds.
And so the other thing that I'm very passionate about is I think the more. So if I take a real simple, and I talked about this at a sourcing event really at SourceCon in Budapest on a round table. If as a sourcer, if I learn a discipline like Boolean search or something like that, right? When I produce that result, I can look at it and say, okay, that's not quite what I thought. Let's figure out why. If I take this out the string, or I put and not or, but I can take apart that string to change the result. If I took this away, if I added that, actually I've got too many people, let's put another filter in. But because I understand the string, I can do that. Now, if we're just not doing that anymore, we're passing in a job and it's doing that for us, and it's going out and sourcing and bringing people back and messaging those people, that's great, but there'll come a point where people don't understand the underlying science or the underlying method, right? Especially with data. So if we get a shortlist, or if we get a chart, or we get a flight risk, whatever it is, if we rely on technology to do that without understanding the underlying method, we can never question it. We have to accept it. And when it doesn't work the way that we want, we don't have the diagnostic skills to look back. So I think we're producing a generation of people who are less able rather than more able.
Because they're being controlled to a certain extent by technology.
Well, no, they're not getting the apprenticeship. Right. So we learn these things by repetition.
So they've gone straight into using that stuff, and we've done it manually in the past.
Well, when we did it manually, we learned by repetition, right? We'd do something, I'd sit with you, you'd go and do something, you'd show me the result, I'd say, yeah, that doesn't look quite right. You go, oh, hang on, let's have a look at your string, let's see what the problem was. We're going to be diagnostic about it. I go, well, I think it's because you did this, or you didn't look in the right place, or you haven't put any brackets around that, that's your problem, Alan. So you could have, and you would learn from all those lessons, but you'd have a deep understanding. So then when I gave you a shortlist from a Boolean machine, say a Boolean string generator, you go, okay, I understand how that happened, so I can be diagnostic about it. So I'm not getting, and I don't have to accept the results because I can question it and dig deep because I have the underlying knowledge. If we no longer have the underlying knowledge, we have to blindly accept what the machines do. So the challenge is, how do we keep people learning what's underneath it? I compare it to, I think we need like data driving license. Like if you're going to use this, we'll let you use this Boolean string generator when you've been able to make some Boolean strings. And there's a million examples of that. I just talk about Boolean because that's a very visible one that we can visualize. But so I'm talking a lot, as I've been today, about this new type of good, to say these are the things we need to think about.
Cool. You did very well to get over that background noise there, Bill.
Yeah,
it's stopped now, very kindly.
Cherry picker.
Yeah. Listen, thanks for your time. I know you better get back and do some more MCing.
Keep it going. It's good work on the ChatTalent.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you. Thanks, buddy.